some more power, baby. Right off the rip, you're either gonna love it or hate it. Holley, 2,500 horsepower. No, absolutely not. It's a whole mess. Lowering springs, nothing. Shocks out. We had to go backwards to go forward. Ooh yeah, so many parts. Going to be working on the 67. Now we're finally going to get started on it. It's a little here, little there. It's going to take some time to really get to the stuff that's fun. You're going to see a lot of jumps in progress in these videos just because I'm not going to sit there and say, well, first you get your 3/4 inch socket. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to teach y'all how to build a car. I just want you to witness the creation of the car. I'm not a big instructional video guy. They're great. They have their place. I'd be lying if I told you I didn't watch a few myself from time to time because I don't know everything, but it sure seems like YouTube knows everything. So today, this is what we're going to be focusing on. Whoop, the gas tank. My God, it's clean underneath. I love it. The guy we got the car from, he did like a pre-assembly. As you can see, it's got aftermarket disc brakes set up on the rear. We got to finish that up as well and set up the e-brake system. Not to mention these leaf springs, rather. They're stock height leaf springs, which, for those of you who didn't know, Camaros back in the day sat unreasonably high from the factory. No offense to the old school guys out there, but it looked like crap. This build, we're doing more of a modern take on it. It's going to be an LS swap, nice bigger wheels, not too big. Think about 18s. So to give you guys an idea, now these are a really small series tire and it's an absolutely huge gap, but you got to take a few things into consideration. One, this car is completely empty. There's no motor, no trans, no interior, no stereo system, no glass, nothing. But the one thing that's going to hold us back is that gas tank, and here's the reason why. In order for an engine to run, you need fuel, and guess what? A factory sender in that tank ain't going to do it. We did a 68 Camaro. It ran great. It was a 5.3 with a 4L60E transmission. It pulled hard. Great little running car. It looked beautiful in the engine bay. But the one thing I would have changed if I did it over again was the fuel system. We decided to spend the extra coin and do an in-tank fuel pump. The last one we did, that was just a little too noisy. This car, the way it's going to be set up, it's going to be a driver. Yes, it's going to be pushing about 500 horsepower, but it's going to be automatic. It's going to have full vintage air. It's going to have a really nice interior, close ratio power steering, full disc brakes. It's meant to cruise. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to pull the gas tank and install this, a full Holley in-tank fuel pump. That way, it's nice and quiet. It's a little bit more money, but it is going to add to the overall driving experience of the vehicle. Obviously, you see a lot of guys out there building cars, either on YouTube or car shows or whatever, and it's got 1,000 horsepower. It's got 2,000 horsepower. This is 2,500 horsepower. That's awesome. I cannot wait to build something like that. You get in cars and people are like, oh, this car's got 500 horsepower. Chances are it's got like 3. Now, like I said, I'm going to be building those cars. We actually, a little teaser, that's a 69 Chevelle sitting right there. That is going to be the next car that you all see built. We're going to be bumping up the power. But for now, I really want to just build cars that are beautiful and they run really well and you can get in it and drive coast to coast. That's what we're going to be working on today. So we're going to rip this tank out and I'll update you guys once it's on the ground and we start taking that factory sender out of it. So we got the tank out. This is the original sender that came out of it. Pretty bare bones. Because we're doing some upgrades and getting some more power, baby, we can't use this. I mean, we could have used an external fuel pump, but it's too loud. The new one that we have, this bad boy right here, that's upside down, from Holley. Now, a couple things that we noticed with this, obviously it's upgraded. It's got a nice hydromat at the bottom. It sits slightly lower in the tank than the original factory one, which I like. I'm going to need 2 hands to put this in, and this is not a how-to video. This is you laughing at us trying to get this beautiful piece of machinery on the road. So I'm going to go ahead and stab this in here, and the next time you see all of this together, it will be going back in there. While the tank's out of the way, we decided to step into another project. We have some 2-inch lowering leaf springs we're going to put in. We might be also adding a 1-inch drop block as well, but we're going to wait until we see the ride height first with all the weight in the car, and then we'll make that determination later on down the road. Now that the tank's out of the way, way. Got some room to work here. Maybe while we're under here before the tank goes back in, I have some extra room. I'll work on the e-brake setup. Let's get this 12 bolt rear sitting where it's supposed to be. We got her all jacked it up. Blocks on that side of the rocker panel, blocks on that side of the rocker panel. This ready to make contact so the rear doesn't twist. Jacks under the rear, an extra jack here. Okay, we're gonna start ripping into this thing and try to get it disassembled before lunch, take a break, and then come back and get at it. Right before we went into lunch, I decided to take the shackles, give them a quick sandblast, and all the hardware that's going on. So you have the front perches, plates that go underneath the rear end. Gave them a quick coat of paint, let them dry while we were eating. Now we have the new 2-inch lowering springs going in. They are a significant different spring rate. They move quite a lot more. Do we expect to see big changes right away? No, absolutely not. There's no weight in the car, as I was describing earlier, but maybe give us a little bit more motivation to get working on the front end, which is going to not be as easy as the back. So now we're going to try to put this thing back together, take some measurements, and see if we can see a difference yet, or if we're going to have to wait until there's more weight in the car. All right, so here we go. We got the rear leaf springs in. It looks as though it is going to get the car to a good height. They're definitely softer springs, so the air shocks we're getting ready to throw in are going to be crucial to making sure that this thing can squat and sit where it needs to go, but not go too far down and bottom out. So let's take a look underneath, show you guys where we're at. We got it up on jacks, so it'll be easier to work on the shocks and everything. We got the new leaf springs in. They're looking good. They feel great. They lined up really well. Where we're at now is we were going to throw the gas tank back in up here, but before we do that, we got to get these shocks out, get the new shocks in, and while my dad's working on that, I am going to take a look at the e-brake setup for this aftermarket disc brake kit. The guy we got the car from, he started the process of putting these on. We're going to finish it up. We're going to go ahead and take a look, see what that's going to entail. I've never put one on before, but it looks pretty straightforward. She's going to ride really good. She's going to stop really good. It's going to be a great setup. Well, I feel slightly like a moron. The guy we got it from installed these, I swear. And looking at them, we finally realized that every time I saw a rear brake disc conversion on a car, the calipers were always in the opposite position on the rear as they were in the front. And lo and behold, it is in fact the case with these. They're supposed to be in the front. So what we're gonna do right now is rip these off on both sides. To get those rotated around, we're gonna get the e-brake cable set up on them. We had to go backwards to go forwards, but honestly, we got a great start with this car. I'll take these little setbacks. That's fine with me. We're going to rip it apart as far as we can, and then I'll get back to show you guys the process of finally getting everything back together. So another day, we're back at it on the rear end of this thing. While I was gone, we got a phone call. My dad said, hey, we swapped the calipers. We're ready to go. So let's take a look at the work that got done yesterday. Brake calipers looking so much better in the front. They really pop against the blue. I'm very excited about that. We got that set up on this side. Go around over here and you can see, boom, we got it all set up on this side. We're gonna get the tank back up in place back here. Oh, the other thing that y'all probably won't see quite yet is we got a new wing. The fitment of this wing is just not great. It's very, you look down it, very wavy. I may have possibly ordered a more modern looking wing for this. You're either gonna love it or hate it, but that's for a later video. For now, we're gonna get everything on the rear end of this car, cross some things off the list, and feel like we're actually accomplishing something while we're still waiting for the heads from the engine shop. So here we go. All right, so a couple things to go over. We're gonna end the day. We had a few distractions, but they were very exciting. However, you're not gonna see them in this video. You gotta stick around for the next one. It's gonna be a separate video series of building the motor. We got a call from our builder on the lunch break. We took off like two fat kids running to a candy shop. So I took up some time, and we also came to a little bit of a roadblock in the rear of this car. So let me show you what we're working with. You can see we got the tank reinstalled in the car, feed tube right there, and then you got the wiring harness hanging down. So we have the e-brake installed, ran to the clip underneath right there. I got done what I wanted to get done in the back end of that. However, when going to install our air shocks, we ran into a bit of a snafu. So in 1967, the rear shocks for this car are forward mounted, both of them. They changed that in 68. They went to a staggered design. So one side would be behind the rear and the other side would be in front of the rear. Now it has one front, one rear bracket. So we know the lower plates are either gonna have to to be replaced or modified. Then we dove a little deeper and found out that if you relocate them on the inside, then they're going to be in the way of these, but then they're also going to be in the way of the exhaust that's supposed to come up through there. It's a whole mess, man. I'm telling you. We got the call from the engine builder. He said, you know what, we're going to take a break. For the back of the car right now, the lines are ran, the calipers are hooked up properly. All we need to do is hook up the drive shaft and we can test that the motor and trans are sitting proper with the proper drive shaft angle. We can bleed the brakes. We can finish the brake system. We can do everything we need to do. We are going to move on from the rear for now, but we do have some work to do when we get back to it. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to go air shocks, if we're going to do shock relocation kit. We just need to see where the shocks are going to go, but in order to see where the shocks are going to go, we need everything in place in the back end of this car. The brakes are now in place. The fuel tank's in. Now it can run the fuel lines. We can make sure that's where it needs to be. We can hook up the exhaust. We have that. We can get the drive shaft installed. We can run the e-brake cable line because I was able to actually install the e-brake cable setup and get the cable ran through and out the underside of the car. So even that we were able to get taken care of. So now we're going to move on to the engine bay, which you can see the hood is gone. And that is because we are going to install some fresh heads and a lot of really awesome engine parts in this box. I purposely put it away so I wouldn't show you guys in this video because that is for a different video. For now, we got a lot done in the back end of the car, a lot more to do. Like, comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. We're going to have a lot more videos with the 67 and this guy still looking to trim these fenders. I have officially decided we're going to cut her up. She looks nasty, but I think we can get her looking even better. So we're gonna cut that up. We got railings we gotta build on the back porch. We got a 67 Camaro that we're restoring. I got the podcast that I'm doing. There's a lot going on. Come along for the ride. Whether you think I'm annoying or you think the car is cool or whatever, there's gotta be something that makes you stick around. So thank you. I appreciate it. For now, we're gonna sign off and we'll see you in the next one.